Hello, my name is Gareth. You're watching the Hub Online Network, and today we're talking about School District 74 and the possibility of the disposal of the Ashcroft Elementary School. Let's get to it. All right, now, just before we get started here, I just want to give a full disclosure. The Hub Online Network works in the Hub building, but as we say all the time, we do not pick sides. We're hoping to have a representative from School District 74 come in and talk with us, but today we have Juanita Little. Why don't you introduce yourself, Juanita?
Hi, I'm Juanita Little, and I'm the Ashcroft HUB Society Chair.
So why don't you, let's start with what the Hub is, kind of how it started, just really briefly.
Sure.
So people have a context.
Yeah. The Hub started back in 2015, I think it was, when the school amalgamated, the elementary school closed and amalgamated with the high school. So from there was a group of us moms that was like, oh, it sure be nice to see the building be used for something else. It should be used for this, should be that, should be this. And of course the should be's turned into, well, who's going to do that? And then turned into the group actually moving forward with trying that concept out. We looked at a lot of, the elementary school was a real hub for the community. Lots of activities coming in and out, karate classes, different things like that. So we wanted a space for that to continue those things for the community and not have another loss. So that's where the idea of the hub came from, and then it was opening it up to organizations or to clubs, those kinds of things, to have a space for that to happen with the goal for wellness, recreation, and the arts.
Now, awesome. Do you lease the building, own the building? What's the position that the Hub board has with the old Ashcroft Elementary School?
So we entered into talks with the school district back then and said, hey, we want to try this. Can we give it a go? So we wanted to be able to see, would there be a need? Could we utilize it and go forward from there? So we entered into a lease, a one-year lease at that time, just to see if we could go. It was funny because our business plan originally, we talked about utilizing this end of the school and eventually working to the back end by the fall of the next year, kind of thing. And within a couple months, you know, we started moving furniture and everything that was left here, moving into different rooms to store. We started utilizing the first couple rooms when you come in, where the early child development program is, the painting room, those kinds of things. We were going to just utilize those first, and then so we'd move stuff into a room, and then we're like, oh, we need another room, so we'd move stuff down a little further, and we just kept moving stuff. And then by December, actually, we had opened up all this end, and we're looking at utilizing the other end as well. RAPS was a great group that came in. They needed a space for their production, and so they wanted to rent the stage and rent some rooms for clothing and changes and practices and stuff. So that really helped us lift off and start actively using the facility, as well as karate, some of the local groups that needed places for meetings, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So you're in a lease, and how long ago now? A month that 2 months that they told you?
Yes, December, we got a call December, I think it was 10th, saying that it was going to be on the agenda for the January meeting. Then the agenda came out the 18th of December, and then the meeting was January 4th, 5th?
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
So what was your initial reaction?
The board was quite disappointed. We always knew that this was going to be a potential down the road of what do we do with the building? Do we continue on? How do we go? We've grown in the years that we've been here, in the 5 years, and it's really become a part of the community. And so it's exciting to see that it grows and changes as we need with the community. That's the best part about the Hub, the collaboration and the partnerships that we've had with service groups and clubs and people has been awesome. And I think when we visioned it back 5 years ago, we thought, well, that would be awesome if we could get there, and I can't believe how quickly we've gotten there and how a part of the community it's become. So we've worked as a board trying to get that, to look at what is our long-term goal, and our long-term goal is to be here for as long as we can be here and continue to grow with the community and meet the needs. So back in January, February, our board had started talking, okay, we're getting into halfway through our lease. What does this look like? How do we continue this? How do we carry on? And so knowing that our lease is halfway through, looking for those long-term goals and working towards them. And then the pandemic, hit in March, which of course everybody got affected with. It totally changed what we could do. We were shut down for several months, as everybody was, with trying to prevent the transmission of the virus. So that closed our programs, it closed our clubs coming into the space, utilization of the space. So that was a real loss, and it was kind of, where do we go from here? How do we make what we have here continue? From that, we got the COVID helpline going, which was another great community initiated event with different organizations and clubs to reach out to meet those people when we're in that type of crisis, with grocery delivery, errands, those kinds of things. So again, it met the needs, even though we weren't able to do the things as usual.
Okay. What has been your relationship with the school district since you are leasing their building?
Oh, it's been very good. Like, they've been so helpful and so encouraging on us doing this and continuing on. So that's been great. We've had a great partnership, a great working relationship. So it's a matter of seeing how do we move forward with this and keep what we've got going as long as we can.
Right. Okay, so that being said, at the school district or the board meeting at the beginning of January, they had mentioned that this is a financial burden onto the school district. I think the number that they tossed out was $27,000 a year. What is it that $27,000 provides?
That piece I'm not totally sure of. I know there were some costs in our agreement that we had agreed on. The security system was one that they were covered because it was kind of amalgamated into with the other security systems. So that was never a cost we took on with ours. The security system on the other end with the gym, we've done the initial work there. So what that piece is, I don't know. And then the grass cutting they were also doing that piece. So as for the $27,000, I'm not sure. We tried to, as we move along, amalgamate a lot of the costs, like the garbage and those kinds of things. So that was kind of a surprise at the meeting that that's what the cost was, and it's never been brought forward to us as to taking on those costs as another step to continuing what we've got and going.
Right. Well, all that being said, then, how does the hub get its money to facilitate all this stuff and keep going?
So a lot of it's through grants. We have a relationship with grant writing and things, and we've always, right from the get-go, looked around to find grants. When we first started this project, Interior Savings was amazing. They came in and helped us clean up the building and then surprised us with a $5,000 grant to get us. We couldn't use it towards bills. We had to use it for something to sustain our business so we could keep the hub going. So that's where we developed to put money into the gym equipment, because we thought that would be a great way to continue income in to pay for the bills that come on. We have then, through the different programs that we've done, through kids camps and community connections, those kinds of things, that brings in some income. And then the rental space also brings in income with community groups utilizing it. Some of the small businesses that we have that are in the building, they pay rent for that, so that helps to sustain us as well.
Okay. So the letter goes out, the meeting at the beginning of January happens. What did the hub board do after that?
So we're reaching out to the community to try. So the process for the school district is to go into community consultations. We're still trying to figure out what that means. Since the meeting, they've released that they're going to do a community consultation via Zoom February 4th. I think it's 6:30 till 9:30, I think is the times, where they're going to reach out to community members to see what do they see the hub, what do we do with the building, what does the community want to happen to the building. They're also going to take letters till February 19th, I think it is. And then they'll present those recommendations to the board, to the school district board in March. We're hoping we're developing a meeting with our board and the school district board, or school district staff, just to see what else that entails and move forward from there. And then from there, whatever the decision is from the school district board of what to do with the building, whether it's continue to lease, which is a long-term lease, over a 10-year lease is through the Ministry of Education, as well as any sale of the building also goes through Ministry of Education. So it's still a bit of a process after the fact to apply to them to say yes, they approve it, or no, they don't. So
Right. Okay. So let's make an assumption here. Let's say that they decide to go through with the disposal. What's the hub doing?
what we would like to see happen is that we would take on the building, but we need time. We're asking for a couple of years to get our feet under ourselves to situate. There's other costs that are going to come on, property taxes, more insurance, those kinds of things that right now, we asked the board to please delay this till after the pandemic, just so we can see where we're at, because the pandemic is so fluid with our restrictions, right? We see at Christmas time, things changed, more restrictions, less restrictions, back and forth, which affects us with how we run things. You know, our gym used to be by fobs, now we have to have it manned all the time, so that's one of the changes we've had, which decreases memberships, because if people can't access it, they don't get the memberships space. We're not allowed to have groups, so that affects our income with renting the rooms and things like that. So we're asking for 2 years to get our feet under us, to make all the things we need to do to get that going.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to say, bring up?
I just really thank the community and our groups and our organizations that utilize the hub, and people who buy memberships, and really the hub is really a piece of the community, and the community owns a piece of the hub, because without the community involvement and uptake, the hub wouldn't exist, and that's the beauty of the hub and why it works. So as we move forward with community consultations, I believe there was a letter drop in the mailboxes that went out this week, at least that's when I found it in my mailbox, about the community consultations and how to participate in them. There's going to be the Zoom meetings. You can email them, send letters. So really just have the community raise their voices to what they want done with the hub, and to support us with this process.
Have you gotten more attention about the hub from just people in Ashcroft? Mm-hmm. Like just walking around?
Yes, definitely. And unfortunately, some of it's been, oh, the hub's closing, but we're not closing. We're going to be here as long as we have access to the buildings, which is still a long time. So for people not to be scared to come to buy memberships, to participate in any of the activities that are going on here, that says a lot to continue to participate in it, right?
Well, that's a good point. For people watching, disposal does not mean destruction of the building. It just means getting it financially off the books. So they would be disposing financially. That's because that still seems to be.
Yeah, and I hear that all the time. Oh, so the hub's done, right? No, we're here. We're here to operate as long as we can in what we've got. There's been no dates given, like, oh, you're out on such and such a date or anything like that. It's the process, and my understanding from the process is that there's still, even when the community decides what's going to happen with the building, there's still a process with going to Ministry of Education and their decision of, yes, we agree with what you can do with that, or no, we don't, go back to the drawing books, however that may happen. So,
okay.
So we're looking for, doesn't affect just Ashcroft, it's outside as well, the TNRD, any of the communities that we access, Spencer's Bridge, Cache Creek, Clinton, all those people can have my understanding is a voice at the table as well. So please speak up, help the hub.
Awesome. Okay. So, how can people get a hold of you, or sorry, where should the letters go?
They can go to the school district, to the, now I'm trying to remember from the letter if it's to all the board as well as the staff. There was an email for it. Thank you. So it can go to you can call the no. This is filming. Sorry.
See, so this would be an edit.
Yes. I was like, wait, on the open board meeting of May 5th?
Okay. I don't even know. I think I'm done. So we'll just.
Make sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was looking.
Okay. So how can people get a hold of, or where should people send their letters of support or not support? I mean, okay, you've gotten a lot of positive stuff. Have you got any negative stuff?
No, the only thing that I've heard is that people support that. Yeah, the district should support education. Of course, I totally agree too. Right, money should go towards education, for sure. We don't want to take anything from those funds. The other thing that people realize is that the building is the district's own. So if we weren't in it, the district would be responsible for all the stuff that we're taking care of with snow removal and utilities and the whole 9 yards that way. So.
Right. So where can they send the letters?
So they can do written feedback by February 19th to the district at schooldistrict74.bc.ca. And if you could CC that to the Ashcroft HUB Society at gmail.com, that'd be great. It's been great. The letters that have gone to the district, we as a board have read them as well. And it's really great to find out what the hub means to people. It makes what we're doing so much, that energy to keep going and doing what you want to do, right? So there's a website survey at www.sd74.bc.ca. And you can also write a letter and mail it to them at Box 250, Ashcroft, BC, V0K1AO. And the public meeting is Thursday, February 4th from 6:30 till 8 on the Zoom. And the Zoom link is on the school district website. We'll also put it on the Hub Facebook page and send out a bunch of reminders to the Facebook page reminding these dates coming up.
And we will be filming, and we'll put it up as well. Right on. Well, thank you very much for coming in. I hope to have you come in a couple more times during this process and just give us little updates every now and again.
Yep.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.